Has anyone ever told you what the final year of life truly looks like? Not in vague terms, but in real, raw, human moments? We see it in movies. Dramatic goodbyes, peaceful endings, final wishes granted. But reality? It's different. It's quieter, slower, and often filled with signs we don't recognize until it's too late. This isn't just another video listing symptoms of decline. This is a conversation, a chance to understand the journey ahead. If you've ever watched a loved one fade and wished you had known what to expect, stay with me. Today, we're diving into the hidden truths of the final year of life. Not just the physical signs, but the emotions, the regrets, the unspoken moments that shape our last days. And I promise you, by the end, you'll see life and death differently. Section 1. The quiet shift in energy. Imagine this. A grandmother who used to cook for the whole family suddenly says, "I'll just have a little soup." A father who never missed a walk with his dog starts skipping days. It seems small, just aging, right? But what if I told you this is often one of the first clues? Case study. Mark noticed his mother, Helen, losing interest in her daily routine. She had always been energetic, but over a few months she started spending more time sitting, watching TV, or napping. He chalked it up to old age. Then one day she struggled just getting up from her chair. Her muscles had weakened, her metabolism had slowed, and her body was already preparing for a transition no one had spoken about. This isn't just being tired. It's the body shifting priorities, redirecting energy away from movement, digestion, and even socializing. If you see this in a loved one, don't just dismiss it. Instead of pushing them to do more, ask, "What do you need? How can I make this easier for you?" Because in their final year, the best gift is comfort, not expectations. Section 2. The disappearing appetite and the meaning of food. Think of every family gathering, every celebration. You remember the food, don't you? The warm smell of a home-cooked meal, the laughter over dinner. Now imagine losing the desire for that entirely. That's what happens. Story. Lisa was heartbroken when her father, once a passionate home chef, stopped eating full meals. She tried everything, his favorite dishes, small bites, even pleading with him. But what she didn't realize was that his body wasn't rejecting food. It simply didn't need it the way it used to. As the body prepares for the final stage, digestion slows. The brain sends fewer hunger signals. Food becomes a burden rather than nourishment. The hardest part? Family members often feel helpless, watching a loved one waste away. But the best thing you can do isn't to force meals. It's to make eating a moment of joy rather than an obligation. Favorite flavors in small portions, a simple spoonful of ice cream, even just a sip of warm tea can bring comfort. Section 3. Emotional withdrawal. When the world becomes too much. One of the most misunderstood changes in the final year of life is emotional distance. The person you love starts talking less, avoiding conversations, even sitting in silence when the family is gathered. It's easy to take this personally, to feel like they don't care. But the truth is, their mind is processing life differently. Case study. James's wife, Maria, was always the life of the party. She told stories, laughed the loudest, and made sure everyone was happy. But in her final months, she spoke less and less. James thought she was sad. In reality, she was conserving her energy. Her brain, like her body, was slowing down. Processing conversations took effort, and being around too much stimulation became exhausting. Instead of pushing her to engage, James changed his approach. He started sitting with her in silence, holding her hand. He played her favorite song softly in the background, and slowly he realized she wasn't gone yet. She was still there, just in a different way. Sometimes presence speaks louder than words. Section 4. The surprising role of memory and time perception. Have you ever noticed how some elderly individuals become fixated on the past? They talk about their childhood, old friends, or long-gone places. This isn't just nostalgia, it's a shift in the brain's focus. In the final months, time begins to lose its grip. The past feels closer while the present fades. Some people even have moments of complete clarity before slipping back into confusion. Story. Emily's grandfather, who'd been struggling with dementia for years, suddenly had a clear day. He looked at her and said, "You look just like your mother when she was your age." It was a moment of perfect awareness, and then, just as quickly, it was gone. These moments are gifts, glimpses of who they were, untouched by time or illness. If your loved one starts living in their memories, don't correct them. Instead, join them. Ask about their stories. Let them relive the moments that mattered most. Section 5. The last physical changes and the body's final signals. In the final weeks, the body begins its natural shutdown. Breathing changes. Hands and feet become cold. The skin may turn pale or bluish. These signs are not suffering. They are the body's way of conserving energy. Story. When Rachel's mother started breathing irregularly, she panicked. She called the doctor, desperate for a solution. But the hospice nurse gently explained, this was part of the process. It wasn't something to fix. It was something to support. One of the most powerful moments in life is simply sitting beside a loved one in their final days. No words, just presence. Holding their hand, playing soft music, whispering, "I'm here." Because in the end, love is the only thing that matters. Closing. The unspoken truth about the final year. The final year of life isn't just about physical decline. It's about change, reflection, and transition. It's a time for gentle hands, patient hearts, and quiet understanding. If you're noticing these changes in a loved one, don't wait until it's too late to cherish them. Have the conversations, share the memories, hold their hand a little longer. Because while death is inevitable, love is eternal. If you found this video meaningful, let us know in the comments. Have you experienced these signs in someone you love? What did you learn? And if you haven't yet, what will you do differently now? Thank you for being here. Let's make every moment count.